So I think maybe
Alright, I
after
see
our
we've
meeting,
got
I
Clayton
might
on,
slip
so-
up there. And-
He's
Yeah,
at
Clayton's
Adams with Chris.
Adams in 212. That's a hospital.
Oh, he's at the hospital.
It's a hospital.
Good, you ready to start?
Yeah.
Okay, we reached a little after 10 o'clock here, so we can get started. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance, then a word of prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, be with us today as we deliberate the business of the county. Help us, Lord, to keep in mind the very best interests of our residents, our taxpayers, Lord. Help us to keep in mind those in our country and around the world that are struggling due to flood or fire or some other war, whether natural disaster, Lord. Be with those folks and comfort them and give them your peace. Be with Ed Dyer this morning, Lord, as he's in the hospital bed. I know that he's recovering, and I pray that you'll be with him and with the doctors that are serving him. Ask all these things, Lord, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Okay, you received the minutes from the July 8th meeting.
I did make, I added a period to where I was missing a period, and there was one place that Doug's name said DUG that I changed to correct that, even though spell check didn't catch it because DUG is a
Is
word.
or-
But I changed it, so.
And DOG is also a word. Don't call him dog.
No,
Okay,
I'm just saying.
thanks, Tony. Anything else on the
Not
minutes,
important.
guys, you catch?
I didn't see anything else. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded. That motion passes. Sign the minutes. Moving on, Tony, what have you got for us?
Okay, and just as a reminder, next Tuesday, you don't have to deal with me. You'll have a lot better looking person and Angie Bright covering the meeting for me. I will be in Indianapolis. Over the weekend, my daughter gets married, and then I go right back down to Indy after that for auditors conference. So I will be gone for a few days.
Good. Have a good conference.
I do have first the Allied Weekly Health Insurance claims. Those are in the amount of $59,318.41. I verified our claimants, and it is all medical. No stop loss or anything. 59,318.41.
Move we approve the Allied Weekly All Medical for 59,318.41.
Second.
Okay,
Okay.
and motion, Doug second, all passes.
Next, we have payroll claims. And the payroll claims are in the amount of $389,856.97. 389,856.97.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Stan, seconded by Doug. That motion passes.
And you all should have received via email the payroll time card approvals for appointed department heads.
Move we approve the payroll, overtime department head,
Time card.
Okay.
time card rather.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll second that. Just a quick notation on that too, and Shannon can help me out. One of the, and I don't remember whose time card it was multiple 4 or 5 instances of taking a short lunch. So are we still allowing a short lunch to add to their daily pay?
So what that notification of short lunch or long lunch that you're seeing on the time card is actually based on the way that the system was originally set up, which is when we did the hour-long lunch, when we first started with AOD. So the notification is based on a clock out period of 60 minutes within the scheduled shift. So it says short lunch every day for everybody. I just haven't gotten it changed.
Cause there were some of them where there was like 4 or 5 instances on one time card that was showing a short lunch.
Yeah, and that, as long as they're taking 30 minutes, it's gonna show that every time, which is our current
Okay.
policy is that 30-minute period.
Yeah, for
Short
sure.
lunch, I'm not concerned with, but if we're talking about the lunch credit, then that has resolved itself for the most part with most departments.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And I had emailed all of you the monthly clerk report submitted by Shelley Bright. If you would like to enter that into the record.
So move.
Second,
Motion by Stan, seconded by Doug. That motion passes.
And that is all that I have.
Okay, thanks, Tony. Nate, what have you got for us?
We have pictures, all right.
I know, I got some pictures here. See how best to get those from the newspaper when I need those, but, really, there's only two items, but there's a lot with this last one here, so I'll jump from one right into two where the meat is in this. First item is just kind of an update for you on the NDOT Rail Attenuator Project. That's that highway safety improvement project. We've kind of been on hold right now to the new fiscal year. We're now in the new fiscal year for NDOT, so we got the purchase order from the state, which gives the voucher as far as the funding is now open for us. So I was able to issue the notice to proceed to Butler, Fairman, and Seifert Engineering on Monday. So I gave them the notification so they can actually officially start work and actually start spending some of the money that we've got set aside for that project. So work is now going to be kicking in earnest for the last half of this year and for all of next year for that project. So
Is the engineering all done or will they have to spend some time with that? yet?
that is all, we are at the very beginning of the engineering for it. So that, we've kind of been on hold, unfortunately, because of the fiscal year that the dollars were tied to. So it was all tied to fiscal year 26, which starts July of 25. So I have to have an extra calendar in my head when it comes to working with the DOT. So, but everything is going according to plan. So I just let you know that that's kicking off. The next item here is kind of the bigger discussion. There's a number of different bullet points, but it's to talk about County Road 125 East and Bridge 162. I had initially brought up back in April of this year, an interest in doing a study, permission to look at proposals to study the future of both that bridge and that roadway, and what could we do with that? Following a number of conversations, I had reached out to 4 different consulting engineers, talking about my concerns, approach, alternatives, ways to fund it, and ways that we could approach and what to actually study. I received 2 proposals and I got verbals on others. I had prices from $10,500, another $25,600. One estimated that the price would probably exceed $85,000, and another refused to give me a quote because they said it was really going to be exorbitant for them as well, and for modeling. And I'm not really satisfied with any of where we're going to be at with this, because the problems will still exist. The road itself is just a rural road. It's not eligible for any federal funding. The bridge is, the road is not. And because of that, and in addition to the issues with IDEM permitting of roadways in the floodplain or floodway, there's really, many of the consultants have said, we could model this, but it's just unlikely that we'll ever be able to receive permits to ever raise that road up. There's no way to really truly model it to prove that that road would never hold water back. There's a current standard within the IDEM and the DNR saying that there's zero net impact. Well, if you raise the road up, trying to get a model to say zero as a result, as far as the impacts go, is going to be very difficult for anybody to prove. So right now, the recommendations that I've received and what I would like to recommend to you are the replacement of the bridge as a clear span to eliminate the log jams that we're receiving there. Is really just not recommended.
Where's this at, north and south?
it's right down on Adams J line,
Yep, that's right on the J County line, or just north of the J County line.
east of Geneva and then
Yep. There's
south.
kind of a hammerhead of roads that come in and cross. This roadway and this bridge are heavily traveled by the Amish. It is an important crossing for us, for the Amish in that territory, because that's who uses it. It is not a truck route and never really should be a truck route as far as other commerce, but as a gateway for the population that it serves.
Does
It's
that bridge
certainly
need
critical.
replaced, are you saying?
No, the bridge needs an overlay. And so the deck and the surface is starting to delaminate. It's certainly got significant wearing because of the Amish, the buggies on that concrete. It's got about 18 to 20 years in on that deck. So I need to get that on the schedule for an overlay. But before I spent $600,000, I wanted to look at what my alternatives were.
Is that the one right behind Red Bull?
No,
No.
Nope.
no.
No,
Uh,
this is an alternate to traffic crossing on 27. Highway
You got
27.
New Corden, you got that crossing, and then you got 27, that's the
Yeah.
three.
So those are the only three in this southeast corner of the county. So it is critical for the Amish, and so trying to maintain that's gonna be important.
So Nate, you got an overlay plan for the
Yep.
bridge.
So we're gonna need to do an overlay. That is something that I would recommend that we do. I think keeping the bridge as a multi-span structure in the long term is really gonna be your best bet. Because this does collect debris, it protects the other bridges that I have listed under item
Right.
3. 50, 52, you've got multiple other county bridges that all would be receiving this debris and could get those logs caught. Why not leave the bridge here as kind of a filter, because that's what it's doing. Ultimately, what would be beneficial for us to seek is to seek an easement from the neighbors nearby. If this is where the trash rack is, and this is where they're constantly being collected, it is low traffic, it's fairly quiet there. And we have an agreement with the property owner now for that use, but we don't have anything in long-term writing. When he passes or in the future, there's gonna be a conflict for us because they may change interest. They may not want us to do this maintenance. I would like to make sure that we have something established that will long pass my tenure here for the future.
Have you had discussion with the landowner about the
I have
possibility of
not.
doing that?
Before I approached him as far as doing this, rather than spend 10, 20, or $100,000 in planning, let's go ahead and create a document. Let's approach the property owner. We can certainly compensate them for the easement.
Easement.
Use the money to buy the easement, not use the money to write the paper for this.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be long-term, and then we'll just proceed with maintaining the bridge in its current condition, the roadway in the condition that it is. I think it's money better spent, because there's really not, there's no golden project or golden grant that's gonna pay for this, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's gonna be what it is today in the long term, but to maintain it as it is today, I think having a long-term easement with property owners on
I like the
one or both
plan.
sides is gonna be better for
I like
us.
the plan.
So with your permission, I'll talk to Clayton and to Mark, and we'll get the property owner's name and information and approach them, set up a meeting with them, and decide on how that might work out.
The easement, once you purchase the easement, you're gonna use the easement for log jam removal storage.
Yep, so we would use that for access, for storage, and then disposal. So one of the things that I haven't worked out yet, and I might talk to the fire departments, is whether we mulch this, and I run a mulcher and mulch this and just grind up the logs that are out there on a semi-annual or maybe every 5 years. I'm not aware that it's ever been mulched or ground up before. The other alternative is we'd have a really big bonfire, and that's something. So I don't know what my alternatives are, so I'm gonna look into.
Waterlogged logs don't burn very hot.
Yeah, I bet.
Correct. So I think what I'm gonna be doing is gonna be grinding these up, but it's gonna be broadcast into areas that we wanna have.
And
this
you're
easement.
always, with those hairpin turns out there.
Yep.
You're always gonna have log jams. It'll
Absolutely.
never clean up.
I don't think that we're ever gonna be able to avoid this. This is going to be a nuisance, but every building needs a water closet, so we're gonna have, this is gonna be an area where we're.
No, I have no problem with trying to get.
I think it's a real creative strategy and creative way to think about this as kind of that filter, protect these logs from clogging up other downstream.
Now, Nate, okay, you got the easement secured. Okay, you got the log jams. Maybe there at the bridge, maybe back further east where it takes a couple hairpin turns.
Yep.
Okay, who's paying for getting the logs out of there?
It would be, the logs would be ours, and that's something that we'll have to work with the property owner.
And,
Because some of the
and,
things
and,
he may
and
want
the
with
surveyor.
logs. And something that we could discuss as well is
Yeah.
if they're paying for, because there is a fund I think it's in the commissioner's budget for
Wabash
logjam
and
removal.
Maumee, yeah.
So whether I bill the logjam removals from that fund, or I spend it out of Cume Bridge and then reimburse Cume Bridge from your fund, that's something that we'll have to
Figure that out as we
decide.
go along.
Ultimately, it'll be
Is there
your
one
decision.
out there now? Is there a log jam out there
There's,
now?
there actually, and it's not on my notes, there is a log jam out there now. That picture is from April of this year. So that's kind of what ends up being left over after cleanup. We've had 2 log jams removed, so this is quite a bit bigger. But this is also an early spring. If you go out there now with the low water levels, it's really green. So, but I have notified Luganville that there's another log jam out there with trees as wide as this table around, and so they need to be removed as well. So this will be the third log jam this year that we gotta deal with. So having this easement's going to protect us in the future, to make sure that we have access and we have a space to manage this appropriately. And it needs to be managed, obvious by the log jams that we've had just in 25.
And the logs are coming from the state line
Yeah,
to where you're talking.
These are coming out of the county, coming in, so we might as well get them right at the gate.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. So if you're good with that, I appreciate that. I think buying the easement and working with him is gonna be better than buying a study to tell us what we've
Do
already.
we,
already know.
do we want to direct Nate to move in that direction or?
I-
Okay,
I would strongly recommend that we have
Okay.
moved that direction.
Appreciate it. Any
I
other
don't
questions?
You don't need
Stan,
a motion,
thoughts?
do we?
Man, there is some hairpin turns there.
Yeah, that's, it bounces around. So what I'll do is I'll work with Clayton. We'll get some easements proposed, talk to the property owners, and we'll end up, whatever is drafted as far as an agreement, then we can present to you for action at that time. So, because we're
Very
not
good.
gonna be spending any money that's not already in the
good.
budget.
We'll take action whenever you get something.
Yep,
for us
when
to
we're
look
ready,
at.
that's when.
Maybe we could just dig a canal on the south side of that woods and bypass. it.
Just bypass, move the river around,
Yeah.
something like that. We'll see about that one.
Yeah, we'd have to talk to.
Nate, just one question. This is about 5 miles west of the state line, right?
Yes.
So it's 125, 5 miles.
Approximately,
700
yeah.
east.
Yeah, I didn't give you a picture of where that's at, but that's roughly what that is.
They moved the river around, but they
Thanks,
moved
Nate.
the mark, covered bridge to where it's at now.
Rick, I don't see, guys, come on up, Brad. Checked you off here before you even had a chance to speak. That's all right. I'll wait until the end. Good morning, guys. First thing today, have 2 permits. Both permits are for VTF excavation. And I believe they're out of Ohio. They are doing work for the city of Bern. The city of Bern is running a new sanitary sewer force main. And if you can kind of picture, well, here, we'll just do the permits and then maybe discuss it. So the first permit is 1,150 feet south of 218 on 000. And then, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna cross 000 at that point, follow 000 north to 218. Go east along 218, and then they're going through the middle of that farmer's field back to the sewage plant.
Okay.
So then the second one will be 2,630 feet east of 000 on 550, where they, again, will cross the road to get to the sewage ponds. One thing to note, we contacted them and they are boring these. There are no road cuts.
Hmm.
So it's boring and then working along the right of
And what are they putting in? What? the
way. An
permit?
18-inch sanitary sewer force main. DTF has done a lot of work, I know, for the sewer district. They've
Yes.
been, I see them. Yep.
So
all
this
over.
is actually a finishing up a burn project.
This is a city of Bern project, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't have any problems with permits. Do we need a motion?
Yep, we do.
I make a motion, we, award the 2 permits that Brad has in front of him. What is it, VT?
VTF.
VTF.
Van
VT
Tilburg
is on top,
Farms.
right?
Yes,
T is on top.
VTF
Good.
excavation.
All right, I'll second that.
Okay. Doug with a motion, Stan with a second, that motion passes. So while you gentlemen are signing those, just a couple updates. The 700 South Road project from 27 to County Road 150. Fleming's is moving along. I feel they've done really well. They're finishing down by 27, getting the storm drain put in. And Nate and I had went out yesterday and we kind of figured this road was gonna be a little soft because of how the road condition was before they even took the asphalt off. So we talked to Fleming's and they were good enough. We got one of Fleming's representatives there today and a soil, I don't know what is he, technician, Nate?
Geotech from MIT.
Met us out there today, this morning, before we came here, and they did a roll test on it. And it was not good. Like, we kind of figured it was gonna be, so it's soft. The base is soft. So basically what it means is that the project's gonna be extended another week, and we're gonna spend a little more money to get it done right. We want it done right, so, but just an update. Good. And then the whole crew's out chip sealing. I mean, thankfully, we haven't had rain, which we could use some rain, but that means they're able to move right along. So,
Good deal. Holding up, distributors holding up.
I'm not knocking wood again.
Yeah.
She's done well this year, so, yeah. Good. Standard Doug, further questions for Brad?
Thanks,
Yeah.
Brad.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Brad, Polk Street looks really nice in the road, but it's really got buggy marks on it.
Yeah,
Boy,
that's
back in the
another-
day, boy, that's all you see those.
yeah.
They give you want to
Buggy
take a picture of that and say, this is what happens to our new
Yeah,
roads.
so a quick update on that. Yes, they did it. They didn't quite go as far as I wanted them to, so I asked them if they could come back and spray closer to the highway.
Okay.
And once that's done, then we're gonna get it painted.
Okay.
With the striping.
Good deal.
Yep.
Good
That
deal.
looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, it does. It looks very nice.
Rick, come on up, buddy. You're right on cue.
It's falling apart, guys. Just that slam. This is the valve that we had to change over there for that AC in the clerk's office. There was two of them. I replaced both of them. That's why the AC wasn't working, the air handler.
I'll be darned.
Lots of ones and twosy things, guys. This just came. The handle broke in the bathroom behind the courtroom and circuit court. Stan, I think you got this one. The jam's coming apart at looks like Superior Court.
No, not structural changes in the Superior Court building, surely not.
Water dispenser leaked all over in the clerk's office just a little ago, so they got water. They need a carpet cleaner in there. These honestly just all came.
Job security, Rick, job security.
Was that water dispenser something we provide or something they? put in
Something
there?
they have. And
Probably the
this
thing
probably-
from,
This probably happened, probably the second time. in
Something
about
from
6
Alpine
months.
Falls or
Yep.
something.
They
like
just
that.
filled it and it's got a hole in it or something. I got this morning too. I didn't know if she had said anything to you. This is from Jessica in the health department. She wants me to stop by, but has she mentioned to you about changing any doors in the health clinic and the health department?
She said anything at your meeting, Doug?
No.
Okay, so I'll go see what that's all
Okay.
about. I got Miguel over there looking right now. He's over there caulking that monument over there for.
Good.
Trey.
Okay.
Okay.
So he just walked over there. He's over there now, so I'm gonna head over there. What's that here? Let's see. That's what's going on.
So really, you
Now-
got a fairly good response on the air conditioner repair, even not what we would have gotten from Judd, but still a good,
It was within 48 hours.
wow, okay.
I mean, they came and got it.
So you still using Meyer, even though it's different ownership, or you kind of using the Andrews or both of them, or
Well, I'm using Myers for the AC unit over there just because
they're used to
they're
it?
familiar with it.
Right.
The only.
So a lot of the same guys working on it.
Yes,
Right.
but really Judd did it. They're kind of new to it. It's an old Mitsubishi unit. I think Judd had told me he only put like maybe 2 of them in, and one sets in Portland, so.
Hmm.
Anyway, they got it. It was an all day thing by the time you take the freon out, pump it back down. put it
Right.
in, find it. But of course, the air handler had to be clear up the highest point in that clerk's office, but
Yeah.
anyway. That's all I got. I'm gonna go try to take care of some of this stuff. I'll let you know about the doors on the health part.
Okay, yeah, if there's a issue there, let us
Did you
know.
get somebody out there to trim bushes out of the old Golden Meadows building?
Wow.
I came by there this morning, it looks better.
Okay,
I mean, occasionally, I'll be honest again, by the time I go out there and stretch a cord out, I'm getting a call here.
It looks better than it did.
I'm working on it.
It's not, I don't think it's not gonna be a pristine.
right,
No,
right.
it's yeah. If it just doesn't look abandoned, that's all I'm looking
Yeah.
for. Good. Thanks, Rick.
Hey, Rick, you said they're doing the caulking at the monument now? or something?
Yeah, they're resealing that.
Who's doing that?
I was over at Outdoor Concepts the other day. They've got a neat trimmer for tall bushes. It mounts on a motorhead, like a trimmer
Yeah.
motorhead,
Yeah.
but it's one of those that detaches. But, you can,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the ones they have now, they're battery powered, they're
Yeah.
lighter, they can
I have a battery
handle them
powered
better.
one that I use too. They're
Yeah.
sweet. Well, it's like we're up to Mark, but Mark's or early.
Colton, is Colton still coming?
Colton is not coming.
Colton's not coming.
Colton is not coming. He is not, he'll be reaching out to you guys to reschedule. I'll text Mark and let him know whenever he can get here, but we can move on to Clayton. Clayton, what have you got for us?
I don't have anything specifically to present today, unless you guys have any questions on anything.
The only questions I have we got the new updated appraisals back on 800 North?
I don't believe so, and I know that last week I did follow up with that appraiser, so I'll follow up with him again this week to see if we can't get that done here relatively soon, because it has been some time.
Yeah, I can't imagine it would take that long to update if he's not having to redo all the property lines and stuff.
Yep, I'll have a further update next week.
And then the other thing, we were putting a letter together to send to the property owners across Madison Street for a final offer.
Yes, well, we're still organizing a meeting. Last week I worked with Judge Kugelhan's office because he has some personal relationship with those property owners, and we finally identified that they were actually on vacation last week, and I believe into a little bit of this week. So we've at least made some contact with the property owners and or their sons who want to be involved in that discussion, which I think is actually will be very beneficial. So we should have that meeting with those property owners set up here relatively soon, and I'll follow up with Sandy with Judge Kugelhan's office here this week as well to make sure that's still moving along.
Well, if you do get that meeting set up, I would be more than happy to be involved.
Yeah, yep.
So, yeah, because I've got a good relationship with the family and stuff too, so. Yeah, so yeah, please keep me in the loop.
Definitely will. Yep.
Nothing else for us, Clayton?
Nothing for me. Again, unless you guys have any questions, I'm all ears.
Good. Anything for you guys?
Yeah, I'm good.
Clayton?
Any updates on a couple of the ongoing projects for the BZA as far as some of the
Corrective action stuff.
some of the corrective action stuff on the Whirling project or
The Whirling project, we're simply just waiting, and we've been in communication with the BZA's attorney, Pat Hess and Brian Heck. The Whirling matter, I guess we're still just trying to, it seems like every contractor we hire to go out there ends up backing out at the last minute. The Teeple property, that has simply just been sitting while we wait to make sure that any appeal timing runs before moving forward with that. But I know Mark Burry with our office has been, handling that mostly by himself, so I can follow up with him and give you a better update. But again, it's sadly with the Whirling project, it seems every time we have a contractor lined up to come and take some of those items, or pursuant to the court's order, the contractor backs out a day before or 2 days before.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes it seems like you and Mark are spending a considerable amount of time on that. You know, whereas the BZA has their own attorney who, I don't know how involved he is or how much time he's spending, but, so I always appreciate your cooperation with the BZA, of course, but they do have their own attorney hired to handle matters like these.
Yeah. Yep.
I maybe wouldn't be afraid to rely a little bit heavier on their resources.
Doug, do we need to go out of the county to get a contractor to clean up that Whirling property? It seems to me like all of our our local contractors get the
I don't
heads
know
up
why
and then
that is. If they agree to do it, why are they backing out?
I don't know, but
I
that,
don't
again,
know the
that's
details of
probably a
that.
BZA plan commission type of a question.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation.
Well, Mark Wind is probably the best resource we have, you know.
Okay.
I would see him as take the leadership
Maybe when
role.
Mark
in
gets
pushing
down
this
here a little
through.
bit, we'll ask him that question.
Yeah,
Hey
Okay,
guys, what is the Whirling property? What is that?
that's
that's the
got
pallet,
the pallets and all that stuff
Right,
out there.
Well, the pallet guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just got that a year or two. Really?
Yeah, we've
He
been on
was
that.
He's out
granted a-
northwest here, isn't he?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's got that many pallets out there.
Well,
It's a zoning
he's been on
issue
the
and all
BZA.
kinds of,
He's gotten the variance for years and years and years and doesn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
It's still agricultural zone, but he was given a variance to operate a business, you know, and within that variance,
Remember a
he
year or two
was
ago,
given
came up.
certain conditions to follow,
Merlin?
and he's been outside of those
He's outside the
conditions.
confines of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
okay, anything else for Clayton?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If not, we'll invite Shannon. Got anything for us this morning, Shannon?
Things real quick. So last week at the council meeting, they approved the updated compensation package with the new scale and then the additional eligibility for those full-time employees. And based on the conversation we had at council in June, I mentioned in my email that I sent to you guys that I would prefer if both bodies agree to that package.
Okay.
Just because I don't want there to be any question about whose authority it actually is.
Sure.
So Tony has a signed copy from council that if you guys are good with that as well, I'd like you to sign, please.
Can you give me the Reader's Digest version quickly?
You guys want to make a
We
motion?
just
Also,
moved that plan from only certain full-time employees being eligible for the performance evaluation adjustment of up to 25 cents per year to all full-time employees except for elected officials and contracted. So anybody who is like contractual, so the public defender's office is an example, and then elected are not eligible, but everybody else who receives an annual performance evaluation is, and it's a qualifying 25 cents. It's not a guaranteed. And then I updated the scale as well to match the new form that I created for 2025.
council went with C.
Correct. Yep.
Option C.
Yes.
All else fails, C. So need a motion to adopt that change in the compensation package.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion passes. Doug Stan.
And then the only other thing is I mentioned a couple months ago that I was gonna have quite a few employees at the end of this year, closer to the end of the year, that we're gonna be asking for the 5-year pay plan. We have a couple of individuals who will be having children, so very exciting for them. One of them, I believe, is gonna be needing it in the next couple of weeks, so I wanted to go ahead and get that approval from you guys, just so I was prepared and could add it to her time card if I needed to.
Is part of the condition of receiving that 2-week pay that they have used up all of their other benefit time?
Yes, they're not eligible for it until they reach 0. So that is anytime that somebody is on FMLA or any kind of other type of leave that I would oversee, I manage that time on their time card myself. So I never apply the 5-year pay until they're out of PTO. And if they happen to earn PTO, like in a following pay period, then I'd use that first before I would use that 5-year pay too.
Good. Well, and I think, you know, it seems like employees in the past have appreciated that opportunity, and so I'm glad we're able to offer that.
So was that a motion, Stan?
Yes.
All right.
Zenny
Second.
signed.
Okay,
Yeah, the
Stan
last
motion,
page.
Doug second to approve that 5-year pay.
That's all I have.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks Shannon. While we're waiting on Mark, see if I can think of Mark. No, I haven't heard anything from Mark. I texted Mark to tell him we were running a little early. But, you guys have anything else we need to discuss today?
We had, community corrections meeting yesterday and I don't know, Ian came in and talked to council because his grant from the state has been reduced. So he has been making adjustments and there may be a couple programs that will no longer be able to be funded from project income, so he's gonna, they're gonna put together an ask from the opioid money, which right now there's still about $130,000 between restricted and unrestricted left in that fund. So hopefully we'll be able to keep like the treatment programs in the jail from Adams Behavioral Health, and I forget who the other one was offering. So the board's kind of working through that. And then, let's see, what else was it? We did discuss the judicial facilities. And so, you know, they felt like there
Let
was some.
Stan finish your Mark, and then we'll jump into you, but I just didn't want you to sit down back there
I'll
because
just
you'll be
pass some stuff out
in the
while
queue.
you're-
Go ahead, Stan. I'm sorry to interrupt.
So they felt like there was some urgency that we needed to address with that project. So a couple of the people on the JRAC committee would like to get on our agenda.
Sure.
At a meeting coming up and just kind of address that
Good.
urgency.
You know, that's, as we talked, you know, when, there's always that risk when you fund ongoing programs with grant money, but I certainly think that Ian and his team have proven that the work they do there is
He's watching it real good.
and it's worthy of continuing, trying to figure out how to find the money, even if the grant money dries up, in my mind anyway.
And also on another matter, right, Shannon and I met with Barb was it yesterday? And so we kind of had discussions about operations and putting the whole plan together for advanced early warning for sirens and
Yeah.
stuff. So we're gonna have EMA meeting tomorrow and we'll kind of try and at that meeting, come up with some recommendations.
I know I reached out to Barb with everything going on out in Texas and questions about early warning and whether the warnings were appropriate and whether they were received and sirens and all kinds of communication. It seems like that just is on my heart, that we figure out, make sure we have a great plan in Adams County for whatever the event is, the catastrophe that we need to warn people about and give them time to react appropriately. So I appreciate you chasing
One of
that.
the things that I suggested to Barb was that she asked for maybe a couple pages in the vision plan. You know.
You
as
sure?
far- You know, so I guess I would kind of look for her to contact you as part of that vision plan to say, hey, this is what emergency management
Yeah.
is, this is what we do, this is. Yeah.
And you know, what we're trying to I'll figure out obviously with that vision plan is where are the soft spots at? Where are the areas we need to think about changing direction or making improvements? And
Yeah.
so that long-term vision, I think if it was in that plan, that then gives us and folks that come after us that long-term roadmap to improve emergency warning services or whatever is part of that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd look for her to contact you on that one anyway.
Good. Well, let's invite Mark up. He's here now and then we'll get back to, I know there's a couple of things that I'd like to cover too in our open discussion. So Mark, what have you got for us this morning?
We'll start with the monthly report. We've got, as you can see, we're hopping. We gave out 21 permits more in June of 25 than we did 22. We are 34 permits up for the year. So, yeah, we're nothing's slowing down at all. We're running around like crazy getting inspections in and footings going in the ground and projects are happening.
A lot of the dollars and permits are going for agriculture, it looks like.
Yep.
Unattached buildings, addition to unattached buildings.
Even in the, in the Amish community, a lot of times there'll be 3 buildings, so you'll have a house and then you'll have 2 barns, which are scrap buildings, so there's always more of those than houses.
As long as they're not barns with curtains in.
Well, those happen.
Good. Okay, we need if you're inclined, we need a motion to enter, this report into the record.
So move.
Second. Okay, Stan with motion, Doug with a second, that motion passes.
Okay. And then, still lost the paper down there. I've got, there it is. This is actually completing something. So we did a major subdivision for Miller Land Surveying when he bought property in the middle of Monroe, where he's already built several homes. And he's also built some storage units that he owns, Chipmunk Storage. And so at this time, this property, when he bought all of this a couple years ago, and he's built several homes already, and he put storage units up. Now he's making this storage unit property bigger. He's taking a piece of this, and he's also making his office bigger. So he's taking some ground from here. And so it took to replat all that to get it where it needs to be. There's 3 different prints you're looking at. So one is making this lot larger. That's one, and then nothing changed here. And then there'll be 2, where he's making this lot where his office is larger. And then the third one is just showing the remainder. And he's splitting those up into 4 lots that he may develop himself, and he's also offering them up for sale.
This is all part of a major subdivision.
This is all part of the major subdivision. He's just kind of completing it.
Yes, Miller?
Yes. Yeah, he did part of it to begin with, and then this is the conclusion of it.
So by adding those homes, did that, I assume that Monroe had enough infrastructure sewer wise and water wise.
Yeah.
To accommodate.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, these up here, a half acre, 6/10, 6. Okay, so those could be, homes?
Yes. Yep.
I don't see any problem with
Okay.
any of them,
So it looks like we need 3 actions.
3 different actions.
Okay.
Yep, the replat is, you can pull them down and
Okay.
have their own little name. There you go.
Well,
Okay.
okay,
So you guys were just discussing stormwater.
I will do this one first.
But this is at least on the
So
north side of the.
when
Yeah,
when
this is
he developed this or did
Yellow Creek
purchase,
runs right here.
yeah,
so
there's
they're
a
close to
there's a
Yellow Creek.
stormwater
It's
back this way that
confidential.
everything
Sure,
goes
it goes to
into.
the news media.
And it was, I think he told me it was calculated at one point to be all hard surface. But no matter what he did, it was covered.
So what is this first one called where the storage units are gonna be?
The title.
Which I don't, okay, I move we accept the replat of Monroe Meadows, section 2.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Motion passes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking,
What's the
somebody
husband do? What's he do?
that Yellow Creek was.
A baker. Oh, okay.
Uh,
Good.
Big enough to handle all the water.
I thought Weller Engineering did a study one time and said, yes, it is big enough to handle. But I don't know.
As far as adding sewer and stuff, ever since Burn upgraded their sewer system, then that they take Burns.
Oh, I see.
Burn takes Monroe stuff, so once Burn got squared away a few years back, then that made Monroe.
I move we accept the replat of lot 8 on the office building, Business Park West.
Second.
Motion passes.
Oh, at least he had a good survey.
Is that, what, now, that whole property is taken care of out there now, pretty well, isn't it?
I think they might even be putting up another house soon.
On
They
one of
they
the-
are putting in two more storage units right now.
Yeah.
The foundations are in.
Now those other 3 lots probably sell.
Yeah, cause some of those first lots were pretty small lots.
Yeah, you wanna make
Any
this
put
one?
Mark, are these all three?
duplexes or villas on some of those.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now is it?
Yeah, I make a motion that we
They're all
approve
kind
the
of
Meadows section 3.
Second,
sir.
Motion passes. Yeah,
out of
these
curiosity,
lots
what's he offering?
Significantly larger than these
What,
lots
yeah,
down here.
what's he asking for those, you know?
I don't know that. Not sure.
He has a number, if you call him, Doug.
I'm sure he does.
I can see Mr. and Mrs. Bauman right here in one of these.
Yeah, well, they're not big enough to put chicken houses on.
No.
It'd be big enough for my dog, that's about it.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Did you get all that okay, Tony? Thank you.
The one discussion that we just finished up, and I don't know if you have any clarification on the 2 BZA projects that have been ongoing as well and Connie Tebow.
I'm waiting on legal. Tell me we can go do it.
On the
On
TIPA
both.
project, on both the Whirling project too, we're waiting on legal?
Yep.
Okay, well, obviously that all is in the Plan Commission BZA legal court, right? Not, is Mark holding us up? Okay, Clayton, you hear that? This Mark believes that your Mark is holding us up on those 2 projects.
Is there any reason that Pat doesn't take a more active part in that? I mean, he's the BZA attorney, he's the Plan Commission attorney. I mean, it kind of seems like he shoved some of this off on Mark and Clayton.
That's how we were, I guess, told to take it. So, when it got to be legal and part of an ordinance we didn't even have yet and a fund we didn't have yet. So we were told to take it that direction. If it needs to go a different direction, we absolutely can. I'm sure he would do it. That wouldn't be a problem. But we keep getting the appeals keep coming in from Ms. Teeple. And, so then those have been fought by the county attorney, because they're against the county. I mean, they're me and the county. So it's real weird. It's real muddy how those get put on us.
We do have that fund set up now, so if you get,
Now we do.
if you get revenues, violations, and they have to pay a fine or something like that, we need to get those into that non-reverting fund.
Right.
Then you have money to start, doing things with.
Yeah.
But I know Mark has always said he works very well with Pat, so I don't think there's any.
No,
conflict.
they work great together. It's just.
Yeah.
What
I've asked-
we don't want is we don't want somebody else thinking somebody else is working on it and it's setting on hold. I know Stan's been adamant, trying to keep this thing moving forward, both these things
When I
moving
ask
forward.
either one of them, they're always like, well, she appealed, so now we gotta get through that process, which I don't understand how that can keep happening.
So I have an email while we were sitting here, so I'm going to be emailing back and forth with Pat today. Because I think I've identified that kind of what I mentioned about the appeals is now that those dates have ran. So the next step for at least the Teeple property would be demolition. So we just need to finalize that. So that one should move forward here rather quickly. I'll get on the phone with Pat and identify what we need. On the Whirling matter, I've been shooting emails back and forth since we've been sitting here. I think at least our office has identified 2 possible other contractors to come get the pallets now. Late, I think last week, so I'll reach out to them and see what their interest is. I misspoke a little bit. The hardest part, I guess, isn't necessarily the contractors themselves coming and taking the pallets. It's been finding a place to take the pallets. The transfer station was not willing to take the pallets from local contractors if that's what they were bringing them. So I'm hopeful that these 2 contractors that I've got the contact information now, they may have another avenue or a place to take those pallets. So either way, I'll continue to move these forward. And again, I'll jump on the phone with Pat as soon as we're out of the meeting here today.
Well, he is definitely continuing his business, for sure. There's more pallets there every day.
It needs to happen. Clayton, are we good to, for me to call Luganville and start getting him in line for tearing down Connie's?
I think the only thing I have to assess yet is, Luganville was one of the bids, correct? That he provided that back on like April 15th, 2025.
Yeah, he was awarded the contract, or
He was awarded it, yeah. But that was one of Pat's questions, so I just wanted to go back and look at the statutes. I don't think there's any reason why we can't. And I think the short answer should be probably yes. We'll really just need to get that scheduled for Luganville and then also coordinate with the sheriff's office because a deputy or two, as you know, will want to attend, and that's pursuant to Judge Kugelhan's order. It's item 3 in Judge Kugelhan's order. So again, I just want to make sure that we don't have to, given some time has gone by, we don't have to, necessarily have Luganville provide us with an updated bid, and that it's still a valid bid. It should be, but I don't. As you know, yeah, as you know, I think Pat and I kind of step lightly because we just, with how many appeals, like you said, she has filed, that we don't want even a small thing like that to trip us up. So, like I said, I'll get on the phone with Pat and with Mark today, and we'll move it forward. And if it is just scheduling, then we'll just have to schedule it, or we can let you talk with Luganville and then just coordinate with the sheriff's office.
will do.
Hey, Mark,
Yes, sir.
just one question back on your monthly. On the 5 residences that you had, were those 5 residents for 878,000? That's not a lot of money for 5 houses.
Well, because I don't have the breakdown how many were Amish homes versus English homes, but the Amish homes are considerably less money because of obviously no.
Now, as they go through this process, okay, they got the permit, and let's say they build their home or have it built, okay, then are we being punctual with the environmental section of checking along with you so that they're legal to move in?
That's for environmental answer, but on my end, it's they are getting their inspections. I just did one yesterday where a guy was doing his pre-drywall, and he asked me, so what do I take to get in? Because they always, and it's not unusual, I'll give a temporary certificate of occupancy when they're close and they live miles away and it's easy to stay there and finish it. But I gave him the list. I said, you gotta have this, this, and this. I said, you can't move in until septic's, approved.
Yeah.
Even temporarily.
Right.
So I gave him that list, and I know it's not in yet.
So who's following up on this list?
On whether the septic's
Yeah.
in.
I wanna make
That's all
sure
health
that
department.
everything is
Right.
legally before they move in, period.
That's 100% health department, not mine.
Well, if that doesn't happen, we need to know,
Okay. Yeah, that's,
okay? Because once it starts slipping, it'll be like a snowball down a hill.
I agree.
Okay, so let us know.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Norm.
Anything else from commissioners?
I don't have anything. You had a couple things, didn't you? Or was that later?
I did, and now I can't remember what they were. I knew I should have written it down.
Yeah, I can get
Probably
it.
off of Stan's list here. It's a good thing he has a list, or I wouldn't remember anything. We're, the vision, Adams County Vision, Planning Group, Advance Adams, will be at the 4-H fair, and we'll be at Swiss Days, soliciting and gathering input from the community. So I would encourage the community to stop by. I think we're gonna be in the commercial building at 4-H fair. And I'm not exactly sure where we're gonna be at Swiss Days, but we're working on that. So there'll be, the ability to, give us some feedback on what the community visions, would be the very best Adams County could be over the next 10, 15 years.
Are you still having them fill out surveys, or is that?
We are, yeah. No, we're still accepting surveys, both a online survey and a paper survey will be available.
Cool.
So working on that. Guess that's all I can think of right now.
I know one other thing I thought of, and at council meeting last week,
Mhm.
when Jason Simler updated us on the lit taxes, that's gonna be a huge deal over the next couple of years on how that turns out.
Yeah,
You know, because I know one of the things that we have talked about is our seated allocations. You know, so those seated allocations that we currently have would be relevant until 2027 at least, I think. And then in 27, we would have to go to the new system, I think. So at any point, if you wanna to look at those or do any change in the allocation or
we can
whatever.
revisit those, I think anytime, but
Yeah.
I think, I think.
So Tony, is that something that, I mean, cause we're gonna have 2 years before the whole new system resets, right?
Typically, it's on a 2-year cycle, and next year would be the year. However, Mark has said you guys can change seat at any time. Right now, seated is 0.4. I know council, from what you guys heard and what I heard, they're really only looking at potentially lowering the PTRC, the property tax relief credits, because that's going to go away before 28 altogether anyway. So, I don't know what they're going to end up doing, but they have until the October meeting to do it if they want it to take effect in January. And as I told council, there's a 30-day waiting period in there once we email all the other units of what the local income tax council plans to do. Of course, county council is the local income tax council, but so all those things have to fall into place. I did not get a totally clear picture of what they plan to do. I think some of them wanted to leave it as it is. And I think some of them wanted to maybe cut that PTRC in half or something like that. So I don't know what they're gonna do, quite honestly.
But I mean, as far as our part,
Your part, you can change.
We can relook at
Yep.
at the allocations.
Yes,
That we wanna do.
I
So-
think, certainly Mark and I and Glenda together can figure out what direction you would want to go. And then I think it's just, Clayton, I don't know if that'd be a new ordinance or just an amended ordinance for the current seated, do you know?
It would be an amended ordinance.
Amended or, okay.
Because the biggest allocation that we've got obviously is to service the hospital.
Yeah.
And then the next biggest allocation we have is to the highway department. And then I think it's economic development and then
Council on Aging.
sewer district and council on aging.
And technically,
I thought that was a 2-year plan, right, Tony?
it's a 2-year plan, but Mark has said that you can alter that before the 2-year term is up. You're just gonna have to amend the ordinance. And the amount that Brad and the highway department get is the amount that the percentage that is left after those other things are taken care of, the sewer district, council on aging, and all of that. Highway gets the percentage that remains after that.
So it's up to you guys if you wanna revisit that or if you wanna leave it as is.
When's the current 2-year plan?
I don't know what month it would be next year, but it would be 26, because I think Mark looked that up.
For 27, right?
Yeah, I think
Well,
Mark
it would
looked that up.
be, I mean, if the plan's already in place, to mess with that would be,
We
Kind
could,
of a
we could change
surprise to-
probably the distribution, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's up to you guys if you wanna do
Okay.
anything different.
well, I think we need to take a good look at it early 26.
26, okay.
Cause I think last time, I don't think we changed anything.
Yeah, I don't think we did either.
I think we need to take a look at it.
The only thing
26.
you might, I can't read, did you change the sewer district? Did you lower the sewer district?
Maybe we did, lowered it to
I think
50,000,
you lowered the
60
sewer
to
district
50,000.
50,000.
Maybe we did, I think it's,
Might be the only change you made. I don't think you added to council on aging or anything.
Okay.
So, and I don't think
Council on
council
Aging,
can mess with what
That might
you.
change since we've addressed some of her major concerns already.
Well, and it kinda depends too. I mean, as she gets additional federal and state funding,
yeah.
her ask might be
Her
Less.
less.
world is complicated one.
Yeah.
With all the grant funding and everything
Yeah.
that she lives by.
We can kind of stay on top of it the rest of the year, look at it into 26 and work with Mark to
Right.
discuss what he feels would be adequate changes.
Good. I think that's all I had. Doug, Stan,
Okay.
anything else?
I don't have anything right now.
Anything from the public?
Yeah, I got one thing. I went to the Burns City Council last night and Mayor Sprunger announced that Ball State University, which has a PBS station down there in Muncie,
Mhm.
has been doing this. Have you heard about this, Steve?
No?
It has a series, a long-running series called Now Entering, in which it portrays and gives the background to various cities in the area.
Uh-huh.
The first one was Portland, Indiana, done many years ago. The 24th city to be done will be Bern this year.
I'll
And
be
they're
darned.
taking videos down there right now for the Ball State PBS station. It's gonna be on the Ball State Network in late September. And this would be a perfect time, Steve, for the vision people
Yeah.
to get on TV and do a little presentation
Wow.
about the vision plan. Because
Wow.
they're gonna be, they're in Bern right now, and they're gonna go through Swiss days, taking videos and doing stuff for this program. I'm not sure how long it lasts, half
Okay.
hour or what.
Yeah.
But it's called Now Entering, and then the city, Bern this time.
I'll
They've
be
done
darned.
Portland, they've done Bluffton, I mean, who else? You know, Hartford City, whatever. They have 23 of them.
Sure.
Number 24 is coming up, so this would be a perfect time
I'll be darned.
next week to get out.
Thank
get
you.
on TV. You'll see them down there.
Appreciate the
Swiss
heads
days.
up.
It's the Ball State PBS channel in Muncie. So
Better go down and mow my yard.
Yeah, that's the last thing I need is get on,
Get the pizza down there.
get on TV.
Give them free
Make sure-
pizza.
Make sure the restaurant neon's
East of
working.
Chicago,
That's
that's
a big
right.
deal. That's a big thing. you
You're
know.
assuming that the PBS funding still go.
Yeah,
Well, that's true. The Senate has to vote this week, and if there's no money, this could be the last broadcast
Last
they
one,
have.
yeah.
I don't know, 'cause
Yeah.
they're trying to cut funding to zero, you know, in the Senate. That's
Hey,
rough.
Steve, when you mentioned about the planning group being at Swiss Days and the
Uh-huh.
4-H Fair, is that the group that you're working on to get feedback? or
Yes,
what?
well, there'll be representatives from American Structure Point and representatives from the steering committee, but there'll also be, generally speaking, what we're trying to get is continue to get feedback from the county residents as far as where they think, improvements improvements can be made in county life, in living and working and the life that we live in Adams County, how we vision a better Adams County. So
I promoted that in my story. Would it be okay to put that if people wanted to write up stuff ahead of time and hand it to them? and then-
absolutely, yep, that'd be great.
Where do you get the,
There's a survey that's available online. There's a survey that's available online. I believe it's at Advancing Adams.
because Colorado State, it also has advancing.
Yes, I know there are two Advancing Adams out there, yes. I don't know exactly, there's probably something else that's a part of that website. There's also, we have these boards made up that's also got a QR code on it. So if you're walking by and you have your phone, if you snap that QR code, it'll take you to the survey.
Somehow I ended up on LinkedIn with Adams County government in Colorado. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
I'm a member of the Adams County, Colorado government. Eric.
There's a lot of Adams down there, a lot of Caters and all that.
Okay. Anything else before we wrap up here? Okay. If not, guys, I guess we're ready to call it.
Motion to adjourn?
Thanks, Doug. Stan?